Good morning, everybody. This is Jennifer at Creative Art Spark, and today I'm going to attempt to emboss and paint on rice paper. So I've got my rice paper in my Altenew stamp press. I'm going to use a stamp from the Library Blooms package. Okay, and I've been waiting for a good project for this, so I think this will be kind of exciting. Now, my rice paper is a little bigger than my registration tool, so we're gonna do a little bit of work there. Try to get that slotted in there just right. Okay, now we're gonna lift up and we're gonna ink up with VersaFine Clair Nocturne. And before I ink up, let me find my clear embossing powder. I'm going to emboss it with Wow Clear Gloss Regular. Okay, so let's stamp this up. This is the first time I have used this stamp. So this is also the first time I've attempted to stamp on rice paper. So we will see what happens. This may be a total loss. If it is, y'all will never see this video. Okay, get my stamp in there and stamp that down. Rice paper is a really thin paper with threads in it. My mama used to watercolor on it all the time. Oh, that looks great. It's got a little bit up here at the top that I need to fix that I didn't get inked quite good enough, but that stamped really well. I am pleased. Okay, let's try this again. We're going to turn our tool over. We're going to put it in place. We're going to hope that it hasn't shifted. If it has, I've got lots more rice paper because I ordered 100 sheets from Amazon. Wow, it'll take me a while to use all that up, but I've got some ideas. Okay, there is my perfectly pressed image. Now I'm going to clean my stamp off before I get busy doing anything else, because I'm bad about not doing that. I'm going to clean that off. And I'm even going to put it back in the package. I know y'all are shocked at that, given the state of affairs of my desk on any given day. But looky here. I'm going to put it right back on there like that. And then I'm going to put it in its package. Okay. Voila. Just like that. All right. Now, we're going to peel our rice paper very carefully off of the stamp wheel, and then I'm going to clean that off because I don't want that black ink to stain my beautiful, clean, untarnished stamp mat. Okay, now we're going to put that away, out of sight, out of mind. We're going to get our, this is not the right paper, we're going to get our embossing paper out. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to run over this with powder to make sure it didn't get, that my flakes don't adhere anywhere but to the ink. So there's no telling what's going to happen on this. I always forget to use that. Do y'all do that? Let me know down in the comments, because I'm always forgetting to use my powder to get a good clean emboss print. I'm about to dump the whole bottle in there. All right, let's see what we get. Let's get this good and covered. All right, we're going to roll it that away. And we're going to roll it that away. And that away. And off. And we're going to tap, tap. We're actually going to turn it and snap. Okay, now we're going to set that up here for just a second, and we're going to put away our embossing powder. And I have found that it works better if you use a pre-folded sheet of paper. you don't make quite as big a mess. Oops, and I still made a mess. I always make a mess with my embossing powder. All right, that's got that. We're gonna take this and we're going to wipe that away, just like that. Now comes the real test, because I've never embossed on rice paper. Never done anything much with rice paper. I did some quilted pieces and I glued them onto a rice paper background, but that's about the extent. All right, preheat my embossing tool and we're going to come along and we're going to heat up this deal. And we're going to just see. Oh, it's working, y'all. It is working. Can you see that? Oh, happy heart, happy heart. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Happy heart. I am amazed. Let's get that just a little more. All right, we're going to let that cool a minute. Oh, that looks so good, y'all. Look at that. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I am happy. Okay, now, the next thing we're going to do, we are going to, okay, we're going to take, what do I do with that? We're going to put a piece of paper under here because that's going to bleed all over the place. I have a suspicion. And I'd rather it not. Excuse me, just a minute. All right, and then we're also we're gonna put this under it. Okay, and we're gonna turn it this way. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to paint our book. So I'm gonna start with some Simon Hurley brown and some VersaFine Clair sand dune. Ooh, that's stuck. They're about the same color, looks like. I'm going to spray a little bit of water in there. I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. And I'm going to spray my rice paper. All right, let's see what happens. I want to paint my pages. I don't know if anything's going to happen. Well, this is why we're trying it out, isn't it? Alexa, stop. Let's try this brown. Okay, that's coming in better. Okay. So maybe the sand dune was just a little too light. All right. As from here, I guess it's just a little bit kind of like paint by numbers. You just color in your stamped area. Okay. Let's go back and try some of this now. Because we don't want a lot of color in there. We want the book itself to stand out. I mean the flower. What did I say? The book. Well, I could have picked something that didn't have so many little nooks and crannies, couldn't I? Yep. Okay. That seems to be par for the course for me. I always pick out something that is a little too over the top. Do y'all do that? I always have visions of grandeur above my abilities. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's get that little dibble in there. Y'all know what dibbles are, don't you? Dibbles are just a little bit. So we're going to lift that up now. We're going to see, well, not a whole lot of color. Not a lot. Well, let's take our rag and clean that up, and let's do it again. See if we can't get some more. This is the VersaFine. No, that's the Simon Hurley. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to dip my brush in ink. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's getting it. Okay. Rice paper is pretty delicate, but, well, it's hard to explain. It's delicate, but it's strong. It's strong because of the fibers, but it tears really easily. And so it's great for collage work, which is what I did when I did my quilted pieces. I collaged rice paper onto, oh, that's too dark. Well, that's all right. I collaged rice paper onto some canvases and then glued my quilted pieces onto the canvas, and it made for some interesting pieces. I was pretty proud of them when I finished, and it was fun. It was something I got to do with my mom. We had a lot of fun with it. My mother is an amazing artist. If I had half of her talent, it would be something. All right, there's my book page. My book, oh, I see a whole nother section that needs to be painted. Of that book that I missed the first go around. Okay, there's the book portion painted in. So let's see how that looks when I hold it up. Now that's got more color in it. Okay, now let's clean that up and let's do our leaves. And I picked Simon Hurley's Overzealous for that. Okay. Ow! Closed my finger up in it. That was smart. All right, here we go. Let's clean our brush. And let's dip in and get us some green going on. Oh, that's pretty. Like that. And I think I'm going to come back in with some Distress ink over the top of that to give it a little bit of oomph. This is actually pretty calming. I like it. I got any more leaves? Yes, I do. There's one. There's a leaf. Here leaf, there leaf, everywhere leaf, leaf. Yes, I've lost my mind. And I see a little dibble of brown that I missed. I'm getting in there. And by the way, everybody, Happy New Year. I hope y'all had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful start to your new year yesterday. And I would like to ask that everybody be in prayer for the people in New Orleans and the people in Las Vegas. I don't understand what kind of person thinks it's okay to do what those people did to hurt others. I can't fathom that. As my grandmother would have said, I can't quite feature that. But there's my leaves. We're going to mop up the green, and we're going to put a little bit of Distress ink down. This is Lucky Clover, and we're going to use that to get a little bit of depth. I'm just going to come in like this. Oh, I like that. I hear my puppy dog whining. She says, "Why are you in here talking to yourself?" She is the bossiest little thing. Very, very bossy. She's a little Shih Tzu. She doesn't like for me to come out of my studio and visit with anybody. I'm liking that. Okay, let's lift it up and see how it looks. Get a little bit more right in there and get some on this stem. Boy, that's a tiny stem. It's hard to get in there with this brush. Okay, so there's that. That's looking right nice. And I think I see a couple of places I missed with my brown, so we're gonna have to go back. All right, clean that up. Let's get my brush clean. Let's get our brown back. I used the Simon Hurley Grrrr. He's got some funny names for his stuff. All right, dip my brush in my Grrrr, and let's come along in here. Yeah, that looks a little better. There was something else I saw. I guess that was it. Nope, right there it is. Come down through with that. Okay, now then. All right, so wipe up our Grrrr. Now we're going to go in and do the flowers. And I've got two Simon Hurleys. I've got Remember Me and Clear Skies. So I'm going to go in first with Clear Skies. It looks like it might be the lighter of the two. So I'm going to go in with that. And I'm going to put it here in front of me so that I know which one I'm using. And I'm going to start off with some clean water because I see green there. There went my water bottle. I'm going to pause you while I hunt my water bottle on the floor. Okay, we're going to dip our brush in our water, and we're going to come in here and we're going to indiscriminately paint these blooms. This is not taking as long as I thought it would. It'll take a little while to dry. Once it dries, I'm going to make a card out of it. So I will pause this and go run some errands and come back and show you what I do with it. I've got to go pick up some medicines for my mom and do some things like that, and then I'll be back. It won't take a long time for this to dry because, again, rice paper is really, really thin. All right. That's got Clear Skies on there. Now let's mop this up and let's use Remember Me. And y'all, this is the beauty of using a glass mat. Boy, that one's about dried up. Is that you can do this kind of thing on it and then immediately clean it up. All right, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to... This doesn't act like watercolor paper. Not that I know what I'm talking about. But I think you can still get a little bit of depth in here. Maybe. Maybe. Let's come along in here. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of extra color to kind of add. And I think that's about all I'm going to do, y'all. I think that's pretty good. Let's pick it up and see. That looks pretty good. Let me do just a little bit more. This is fun. I hope that this will inspire some of y'all to experiment on different types of paper besides cardstock, because it really is fun. It needs something. It needs, I don't know what it needs. I think that's gonna be it. I really do like that. And I'm gonna lay that right there, and I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna go run all my errands, and by the time I get back, this should be nice and dry. And then I'll make a card out of it, and we'll see what happens. Maybe, I know what I want to do. Let's try that up in the corner. This is Party Dress by Catherine Pooler. This is the infamous ink pad that I rolled my chair over and broke. So might as well use it before it dries up. All right, we're going to test a little bit in a corner up here. And I do not like that. So never mind. I'm not going to even, that would just mess it up. I was thinking that I would come around the outer parts of the flower, but nope, I'm not going to. I like that. I don't know about y'all, but I like that. It might need, all right, let's try this. Let's take a little bit of the VersaFine Clair, pink, and let's come right along the edge of that book cover. Just to give a little bit of, I don't know what you'd call it, difference. There. That did make a difference. Okay, it's done. I'm stopping with that. Don't mess with it. Just leave it right there. Let it dry, and I will see y'all in a couple of hours. Thank you. So my video timed out while I was gone, and I'm having to start from scratch, so I guess I'll learn how to add to a video. And then I also forgot that I was going to add this in the recording, so I got a little ahead of myself, and I did some ink blending on my card base, and I used Speckled Egg Distress Oxide, but just around the edges, so I left the middle white. Excuse me. Then I took a glue stick and carefully rubbed on the back of my rice paper, and then stuck my rice paper down to my card base, card panel, excuse me. I'll eventually get it right. And so now what I'm doing is taking my card stock to make my actual card base, and I'm going to crease that. And then I'm going to glue my card panel to my card base. Ooh, I like that. Okay, glue gun, glue press. I'll never quit calling it glue gun. I don't know why, but to me it just looks like a glue gun. Okay, Let's get this nice, and it's got a little bit of the rice paper stuck on the back here. All right. I'm thinking that I probably like this one better than the other three that I did yesterday. I did some similar style painting. Y'all excuse me, I've got to stand up to put this on there. So if you see my head or something, I'm sorry, but I can't ever get them on straight without standing up, and I still don't get them straight. And you're also going to notice that I left some jagged edges on here. I tore my rice paper, and see there, it's got some edges there that have the fibers in it, so I thought that added a little bit of interest. So there is my card. I hope that you had fun watching this and maybe were inspired to try painting with your stamping inks. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Please consider commenting and subscribing. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.